Hello, everybody, and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael, and today we are looking at a beautiful park called Adventure Gardens, and it's by S. Weaver 3. And if I remember correctly, I believe this is created on the PS4. Oh, actually, no, it's on the PS5. This is up to 86%. And as you can see, just a really big park, really beautiful park. And the description of this park is extremely long, so I'm going to, this time, I'm not going to do this every time, but I am going to take a page out of Maddie's playbook, and we're going to look at the description in the workshop. All right, so here we are on the workshop, and as you can see, it's called Adventure Gardens by S. Weaver 3, and this was created on August 22nd, so about a month ago. But I've kind of had this one along with many other parks on my list of ones to spotlight at some point. So it says, Welcome to Adventure Gardens. We have four main areas: a sprawling pirate cove, a dense vegetative woodland, fairyland, and classical boardwalk. Pirate Cove features a coaster that winds through the small canyons and lush beach vegetation. The boardwalk features three rides overlooking the Pirate Cove. The Woodlands features a classic wooden coaster with intense drops and expansive views. It also is home to a cabin, a five-star hotel resort with its own mini coaster that whisks guests through the impressive lobby and also features fine dining on the rooftop terrace. Please take a look around and enjoy. So as you can see, that's a picture of it. Looks like the pirate area. And so let's get back to the park. All right, so we're here at the guest entrance, and right away we've got this nice little bridge to go over this little bit of water, as Maddie would say, water. So this is nice little bridge to get started. Nothing too fancy. Now we got a welcome sign, and so I wonder, a lot of flowers here. Um, Love the water feature there. And so I wonder if this is one of the blueprint buildings or just using some of those basic Planko pieces. Um, yeah, as we come in the entrance here. Yeah, so right away you can see just very, very dense kind of, as he says, vegetation and nice area. Maybe it's a little bit too high with some of the plants or some of the bushes and stuff, but it does look nice. It kind of blocks your view of stuff to where um, you still have no idea where to go. So let's go to the left first. That's what all we always seem to do. So now, got these buildings, and so it looks like this is going near the pirate area. So it looks like probably a restaurant or staff room or something. So you've got these Fairytale style. I guess that's the Fairytale area. And I do like using these hedges for a lot of stuff. So I think it does kind of section the area off nice, especially when you're trying to do kind of like a classic area. And as you can see, we got a nice little flat ride, a lot of flowers. Maybe would have varied it up a little bit over here. Um, oh, that music's loud. Okay. Hopefully it's not coming across too loud in the on y'all's video. So it's coming across loud on my headphones. So let's go this way. This is a theme that I've never really built with, just because I honestly am not a huge fan of how the roofing looks, but I understand the oh, that's cool, that building up there. That is really cool. I wonder if that's the hotel it was talking about, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, I like this style. I'm just not a big fan of that kind of fairy tale style roof. That's just me though, but it looks good. Varying of paths, so you kind of have different path colorings when you get to different areas, which is nice. So if we come this way, we got pirate ship up there. Yeah, so this is nice. I like the little features. We haven't really come across any rides yet, but oh, this is looks like this is custom using the different kind of base piece there instead of just your typical for the fairy tale buildings. So those look wow, I can't speak. That looks good. But yeah, so that's an interesting queue. I actually like how that's laid out, how it's kind of going back and forth like that. I would maybe put a couple trees, or one thing you could even do is take. I don't know how this is going to look. I'm just thinking of this off the top of my head. So if you take one of these, you could have them over here too, or you could even sink it in the ground some like that and kind of have them spread around. So, but yeah, so this area is more about the flat rides. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3 flat rides here. And there's the boardwalk. You got the pirate area. So just kind of getting a overview of the park. So this way, I guess there wasn't too much to the right this way. If we go this way, we've got the Ferris wheel. Oh, that's cool though, seeing the view of that coaster up on that massive hill in the background. So that's really well done. One thing I'm not good with, I'm trying to get better with, is terraforming and doing terrain and trying to create mountains, because I do think it adds a lot of good like depth and stuff to your park when you've got those mountains in the background. Let's go back over this way. So let's see, was there anything else to the left here? It looks like we got another bridge. So this kind of loops around. So I do like how many different paths there are and go in different directions. So it looks like now we are coming to Pirate Cove. So let's see. Yeah, this is nice because all of a sudden you jump into Pirate Cove and it feels completely different. All of a sudden feels tropical. You're using the tropical bushes. Kind of get an overview of this layout and area. You're using the deciduous rocks, it looks like, to kind of section off the path. That looks cool. So now we've got a queue going up here. I don't know where this goes to, but we'll find out. Looks like maybe this pirate ship. Nice little water feature, not overdoing it. Yeah, this is a yeah, that's cool. I haven't used this pirate ship yet, just because I haven't really themed a pirate area, and you can basically only use it in an area that's a pirate themed area. But that's a really long queue for that pirate place, but it's cool. I like this little place for the ATM. You got the covering, but you've also got the walls behind it. I think that's a nice touch. So we got the toilets. Let's go back to where we entered. Oh, I like this little roof covering here. Once again, nice touch to kind of create, create something that looks different to where guests are getting their food. Oh, I like that. I like that water feature right there. That looks nice. And then you've got the animatronics up there with the pirates. So that looks really cool. So let's see. Let's go this way. So it looks like this coaster weaves in and out of buildings, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so we got a nice planner. Yeah, just very, very well done with a lot of these buildings and kind of adding a lot to the park. One thing I need to do better on my parks is more buildings. Because if you go to a theme park in real life, I mean, there's just buildings everywhere. And so that's one thing that I've really got to work on. But I noticed Jasmine did something like this in her most recent park. That's the contest submission park. But it's like where you got your path elevated for your queue, but you kind of add this layer of vegetation or layer of flowers and stuff below that makes it seem like the path is not actually as elevated, which I think is really, really cool. And then I do like this station because it doesn't cover the coaster like you normally would think, but it's covering the queue, which I think is, I mean, ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to protect guests, right? Essentially. But yeah, I think that's actually a really cool, unique design for a station. So let's go ahead and ride this coaster to Deegan. So if you look at the stats while we're going up the chain real quick. Oops, hold on. So G-force is a little bit high. It's not a large coaster. It's about probably 100 feet. Max speed 55 miles per hour. Yeah, so you can tell this, the design of this coaster is really cool. So I think this is how it kind of comes over here. It kind of gives me, uh, I think Tennessee Tornado does this at Dollywood, where it's kind of got a little bit. It's more than just a pre-drop before, and I know like Nemesis has a little bit of that too, but that's obviously an invert. The coaster needed smoothing for sure. Definitely needs smoothing. Pretty rough in some areas, but I like this kind of layout here. I like how it goes through this area that you've kind of cut out and you've filled with rocks and stuff. I just think that's a cool touch. Um, you could add one of those, use the chain link fence to kind of add a protective covering here since it's going over the pathway. And yeah, I mean, now these coasters in real life really aren't that smooth either. But yeah, I mean, the coaster just needed smoothing out. And it looks like some areas would be pretty easy to smooth out too. Like I think this area here, as you can kind of see a little bit of the potential roughness and how it's shaped. So yeah, just smooth it out a little bit and good to go. Maybe another thing too here is smoothing out this drop to make it more symmetrical to where it doesn't have it goes up really steep and then it crests really quickly and then goes back down steep again to make it be more gradual. But yeah, I mean I mean this is a cool area though. This is one of the um, more unique pirate areas I've seen just in terms of it being a small area within a park. Like I know we've seen parks that have all been based around pirate themed, which are incredible. This is really cool to see a portion of a park that's a pirate area, and this just reminds me of like something that'd be like a snake pit. um, but yeah, and so we got a lot of flat rides too. So a lot of flat rides in this park. I wonder ultimately. Let me see. I wonder how many rides they have. So 17 rides. Okay, not as much as I would have thought, but 2 Vista points. Okay, so sequences. Okay, so some of these rides have sequences and triggers. Okay, I wonder if there's fireworks or something. It didn't say anything about it, but we'll see. So now, because I don't want to make this review too terribly long, we're going to. Oh, that's cool over here too. I mean, there's just really good sightlines in this park. I love all these little areas that are kind of dug out. It's realistic. You know, you've got some waterfalls, and just the terrain changes are good. Um, it's kind of adding that depth and stuff to it, and so that's something that that doesn't look too. That doesn't look. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it looks really good. So something that I got to work on. Now we're coming to the boardwalk. And what I like too is there's a clear distinction between the areas. Like this, all of a sudden looks very, very much like a fair type theme. You've got the all the lights. So like, let's see this at night. Okay, maybe not quite as lit up as I thought it might, but yeah, that right is of course. Um, but yeah, so if you look at this area at night, everything looks lit up in a solid way, so that's good. Nothing that necessarily stands out is like trying to be very unique at night, at least in my opinion. But yeah, so okay, it looks like there should be something put in here, like some kind of door or something. Um, but yeah, I like these little boardwalks that you see on parks sometimes. Like it's just very unique and different. I do like how you've outlined the entire area with this fencing. I believe this is the Renaissance wall. And so I think that looks nice. It just kind of adds another um, realistic touch to it, but also makes it look nice as well. And is there anything in here? So it looks like you got a staff room, you got a bathroom, we got some food, and I like how the food stop looks almost like it could be like an arcade with how it's made up. I think that looks really cool. Okay, so the boardwalk. Although I would think that the sign, I guess the only way you could do it, I guess, is if you overlaid 2 signs. So because it's saying boardwalk, but you're actually leaving the boardwalk. So I think what you would have to do is shift this over slightly and then you can copy it. So that one would say Boardwalk, and then this other one. Why is it not showing up? Hold on. Wonder why it's not showing up on both sides. That's really strange. I was trying to create two of them to where it showed one of them would say Pirate Cove, the other one would say Boardwalk. But clearly something was not working properly there for me. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, this is a nice, as it said in the description, it's a nice way to kind of overlook the cove and kind of overlook the pirate area. I feel like dive coasters work well in pirate areas. I don't know why, but that's just kind of another coaster type that I think works well. Oh, I can see a little mine train coaster right there. That looks awesome. Car day. So yeah, we got looks like some little arcade stuff. And I like the little signs put up. Like it really feels, like I said, like it's a boardwalk. Yeah, this is oh man, I love these guys. Why aren't they playing? There we go. Yeah, those guys are just the best. But yeah, so it looks like it's going pretty quick. That's awesome. So if we come up this way, it looks like I don't know if this is the hotel. It looks like it might be the hotel they was talking about, the 5-star hotel. But this looks cool, and I like these covering fences here. Those little pergolas. Something that's simple to make, but kind of adds a lot in my opinion. And I know you're adding those lights. I personally don't like how that looks because those lights have no width to them. Like if you look at them, they're basically just flat. Like they look like they should be bulbs, but they're not bulbs. So I personally would get rid of those just because I think it doesn't. I understand the meaning of it because I like the intent behind it, but just with how those string lights are supposed to look, like they're completely flat. So I would get rid of that. But let's come up here and okay. So you got the hat's fantastic. I like how all of a sudden now since we're in kind of like a more alpine or woodland area, you've changed to not just the wood, but you've got the log the log poles essentially. And so yeah, then you've got some other stuff down here. I like the signs, the advertising. I really wish we could take screenshots of our rides and stuff and advertise for that a little bit. One thing you could do if you wanted to kind of block this curb, or is this all? I wonder if this is all technically elevated, so it has to have the curb. But is that? I don't know. So, but yeah, I was thinking one thing you could do is just raise the curb up, or that wood platform up just a little bit to cover the curb. So if we go up this way, we are getting to the wooden coaster. Or not wooden coaster, sorry, mine train coaster. And so this is a massive like room and station. I think it's pretty well done. I think there's some areas that could be touched up a little bit, but that is cool. Okay, that's really cool. Once again, the string lights, not a fan of, but oh, we got like our own little private bar up here. This is cool. So this would be like a 5-star restaurant basically. You got a bar. Looks like you've got your what could be wines and alcohol. You got your doors. You got. Is there anything in here? No. But this is a really cool touch because you can sit here and look out on the park. I think this is my favorite thing in the park right now. That's really well done. I was not expecting that. And then it looks like we have some more rooms up here. And yeah, so it's kind of like those are meant to be like hotel rooms, I think. I could be wrong, but I think. So let's go back down here and let's look at the coaster. Yeah, so this is a Mine Train Canyon Runner. So let's look at the results. Okay, it's all green. That's really good. Um, G's aren't too bad. Up on the higher end, but not too bad. The average speed, max speed 56 miles per hour. That's pretty quick for mine train. So this is supposed to be probably a larger scale kind of mine train coaster. But yeah, the views on here. All right, so what were y'all's thoughts? Yeah, I think the layout of it's pretty cool. I think the fact that it kind of goes in and out of this building, it's a really short ride, shorter than I was expecting. Um, but it didn't seem overdone in terms of the speed and stuff. And I definitely liked how it was in and out of the building. It's called the cavern or the cabin. You know, just once again needed some smoothing in some areas, but overall I think it's a good coaster. So let's see, you got milkshakes here, we got ribs. So let's continue. I think we got one more coaster to look at in the park, and it looks like we got a log flume as well. And now we got kind of a totally different style, which is nice. And so now we are in the last area of the park. And so I like how you've done a lot of these pergolas, as I've said. I would just get rid of those lights. But I love the kind of vegetation area here. You've got, it's really covered, looks like it's overgrown, which looks nice. Oh, rest stop. So we've got some, looks like some food maybe. We got a little walk in here. So we got, okay, nice restroom and little food shops. Maybe what I would do is I would just make this a little bit larger because I feel like having these food stops here and there's only a 4 meter space there. That's probably too small for people that are trying to queue in line. You see people are walking through people. So I'd probably just expand this a little bit. But I do like how you've got restrooms and some food options in here. And so this is called Swing. This is the Insanity. I think that's what it's called. Yep. So we got a log flume here, which looks really cool. Once again, I do like the building here. It's nothing too crazy. I guess I should have gone up the queue, wherever the queue is. Splash. There we go. And everybody wants to ride this. Oh, I like this little touch here of making it feel like you really are in a woodland area, or in like a. You got these this stuff that's been created. Why am I forgetting the name of these now? A log, since we're going on the log flume. And I like this queue building. It's a nice touch. It's detailed. It's not just put together real basic. I mean, you've got a lot of detail on it, which is really cool. All right. And I like the inside of it and using the different roof pieces as well. I would just maybe put some of those wooden pillars or posts as kind of a border here around the doors. That's probably the last thing I would do. Other than that, it's, to me, it's perfect. So let's see. Are we going to get, is this a splashdown right here? Oh, that's cool. That is perfect. If you don't want to get wet, don't ride this ride. But let's see. So yeah, it's basically just not much to it other than the drop, but that's still cool, and we're definitely going to ride this. But I like too how this is that's the still water, and in different areas you kind of have different types of water. But I like all the rock work around it. Once again, the station building, detailed. I mean, even having these little wood pieces on top, those little wooden planks, just adds to it. You've got the different roof pieces, so it looks really cool. Once again, I'll just add those borders, add some lights in here, because I don't believe there are any lights. Yeah, so this is dark. I mean, you got a couple hanging out over there, but you don't necessarily have any inside the building, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so I'll just add some lights hanging off the roof or on the walls. So let's go ahead and ride this log flume real quick. Wow, it's all green for a log flume? That's pretty incredible. This is a nice little tunnel. Log flume with a pre-drop. Alright, that was cool. For being a shorter log flume, I love this right here that you made. You know, just a lot of good small touches here in this area. I think this is definitely my favorite area of the park, this woodland area. I think the pirate area was really cool. Boardwalk area was nice. Fairytale area, that's just not really my style. I think you did a good job with it, but this area is definitely my favorite, just with the building pieces you chose to use. And like here, you use the wooden plank columns kind of on the side, which just kind of adds to the building, right? Because it makes it it adds these. I'm not even can't think of the words right now, but it just makes it different and it looks awesome. And then also a bit massive drop, and it's really cool that you splash down or splash all the guests waiting in line. So let's continue on, and it looks like this little. Is this okay? Yeah. So this is supposed to look like a. It's got a train. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like the train is. I don't necessarily know what the full purpose of this is, other than just kind of having a cool kind of scenery piece. Um, so that's bumper time. So that's the bumper cars. So you definitely fit a lot of flat rides in this park, which is cool, and you still have some space, 14%. Yeah, and this is a nice little food court area. Once again, I probably would have extended this part a little bit because you've got a couple places. Oh my god. Okay, he fixed that. All right, I was about to say somebody just destroy the bench. Um, you know, you just want a little bit more space for when people start lining up like right here, that they're not all just walking through each other. But it's nice touch with the building. Oh no, is it broken down? Well, while it's broken down, let's kind of look around just this area with the coaster. But as you can see, I like the wooden pieces there. A lot of detail with the rocks and the kind of waterfall. Oh no, that's everybody coming out of the coaster. Or did it break down? Oh no, it's working. Okay. I guess there might have been the mechanic might have just fixed it. Because usually when you see that many people coming out of the exit area, that means that all those people were on the coaster or were queued in like the final part of the line, and they just like reappear at the exit. Um, so, I mean, this truly is a lodge. Like, that is a fantastic building. I mean, there's a lot of detail to it. It's not just a, I mean, it is ultimately rectangular in terms of the shape, but you've got all these kind of indentions to it. You've got these different building pieces. Like, I'm not a big fan of this type of wood, but I think it works in this situation. Um, you know, you've got your just how the queue path kind of interacts with it. And so as we can kind of see the coaster here, yeah, it's definitely a massive steep drop. So we'll see kind of how that is. You don't normally see drops that steep on a wooden coaster or a chain lift that steep, but I think we'll see how that is, but it looks really cool. And I like this turnaround here. That looks nice. But let's go ahead and go back up the queue. So there's the station. Now, one thing I would do here, to be honest, um, this is just me personally. I don't like how this is um, elevated off this ground here. So all that I would do is, let me split this from building. I would just raise this up. I'll just raise it up to where it covers that. And then you can, I don't know what happened there. Hold on. Got to get out of this camera mode. But yeah, so then I would just use this to create the flooring for the rest of it, because then it really looks like it's on that level, if you know what I'm saying. Oops, hold on. Yeah, so now when you walk in, it's kind of leveled off. So that's one thing that I would do. That's the only thing I would do differently here with this queue, is I would just have that leveled off instead, and same thing here. You could raise it up. But yeah, so coaster just came to the station. Let's go ahead and put it on pause mode so that we can ride the coaster, or testing mode. So everything once again is in green, which is good to see. Results, vertical G is a little bit high, which that's probably going to be here at the first drop. Max speed 75 miles per hour, which is really fast for a wooden coaster, but this looks awesome with this hill. So let's ride the coaster. All right, so to me that was the best coaster in the park. And one thing I did want to show though is and I'm not trying to overstep here, just from a standpoint of the smoothing aspect of it. So one thing you can do is you can smooth with like 3 or 4 pieces, or you can actually take a whole section and just try to create and you can smooth it. And what it's going to do is it's going to slightly lower it to where it tries to smooth that out. And so especially here, if you want to smooth that a little bit, because what it's going to do is it's going to slightly try to raise it, although looks like almost, yeah, let's see. So like with the hill, you can smooth out a hill too. And so what it's doing is it's slightly changing the area of it. So like this is one to me that probably could be smoothed a little bit, because it's this kind of supposed to be an airtime hill, but really what you could probably do is probably lower it just a little bit and then smooth that out there. And yeah, so just from the standpoint of, because it kind of struggled to make it over the top of that hill, so just by lowering it a little bit, let's see what this coaster does. Yeah, so I would say that hill's probably a little bit too wide of a hill. Um, but overall, I mean, coasters, really, I mean, I did like the coaster. I think that's my favorite coaster in the park. And I just love the scenery around it. Like, it takes you on this hill, and I mean, just the sight lines are just fantastic. It's just a really, really pretty ride. So, that is it for this park as we kind of do a quick overview. What was your guys' thoughts? What was your favorite area? As you know, you kind of had this Fairytale area here, which didn't have any coasters or anything, just had flat rides and stuff. You had the pirate area, and I love, like I said, I love these kind of little built-out areas. Like, how many rocks did you have to use there? Wow, that's a lot. That is some effort making all those rocks too for that spot. So I think that's cool. Then had the boardwalk area, which is kind of the smaller area. Then you had this woodland area, and I think the woodland was my favorite. I think those were the two best coasters. I also love the detail. This was just fantastic. But then I love the detail on the stations and stuff. And so I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. What's your thoughts? What's your favorite coaster? What's your favorite area? Oh, and one thing I forgot to look at too before we go is, I guess we did look at these, but these buildings up here, when I saw them down here, I thought they were supposed to represent like a cabin or something. I didn't realize that we had actually already looked at that. But all right, guys, as always, I really appreciate you guys watching the video and supporting the channel. And Jasmine, I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure and hit that like button and make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with more content that we release at MJ Games. Have a great rest of your day.